Hail and welcome to the Crypt of the Necromancer. I'm Jimmy D, and joining me on his own channel is Necromancer. What's going on? How you going?
All hail. How are you, Jimmy D?
Yeah, fantastic. So we've got Mandalorian, which we'll review here today. Let's do the spoiler-free impression of this week's show, and then we can get into the spoilers for those people who are watching, just to decide whether they're going to spend their time watching it or not.
Well, I would watch it. A spoiler-free version of the show. Dogfights, pow, 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 pew, 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 and that's it.
Yeah.
With a lot of Bo-Katan.
Well, yeah, I'd say when it comes to the characters whose stories actually progress, it would be Bo-Katan and Grief Karga are probably the two characters who have the most happen to them in this episode. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with, some very cool dog fighting. So again, we've got a lot of action there. And we've also got some street level tactical fighting. And we get to see the Mandalorians work as a unit. And that's something that I've kind of probably been waiting for a little bit of since season 1, when they were actually trying to capture or rescuing Mandalorian when the
I would have
bounty
to
hunters.
say, it was a very good episode, very full of action. I liked it because it's full of action. Is it something I want to watch 10 times over? No.
No,
it's not.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of rewatchability. I agree.
Yeah, a few times it's watchable, 2 or 3 times. Sure, it's a good episode to watch for the action. Like I said, the story has some issues with it as far as I'm concerned. It's the Bo-Katan child endangerment show.
Yeah, it's not really the Mandalorian anymore. It's not his story. Yeah. It's what's going on in the Star Wars universe centered around this Mandalorian clan. So I was talking to a mate of mine, and I said, it really should be called the Mandalorians, because it's not really about Din Djarin anymore. It's about his clan, moreover, the girl bosses who are in charge of the clans. Right?
Exactly. That's a very strong feeling with this show. So
yeah,
that's not interesting. I tuned in because it was supposed to be Clint Eastwood and Mandalorian armor. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, it was a space western. I remember I had some visitors staying with me when season 1 came out, and I had watched 2 or 3 episodes of it, and they ended up in the house, and I said, "Hey, you want to watch a western?" And I put the Mandalorian on, and right from the very first scene in the bar in the frozen planet there, they were enthralled and they were enraptured because it's a space western, isn't it?
Because it's the man with no name who you don't know. You really don't know because you can't even see his face. You have no idea what he's thinking. You have no idea what his morals are. You don't screw with him.
Yeah.
And now he's just
everything's revealed.
He's just a guy who's coming along for the ride. He'll do whatever Bo-Katan tells him to do. He'll do whatever his clan leader tells him to do.
Yeah. Doesn't even want the bloody Darksaber.
Nope.
That's the man with no name. It's you look at those Clint Eastwood movies, and they're a lot like Yojimbo, the samurai, Ronin,
which is
wandering
what it's based
Ronin.
Off of. Yeah.
Exactly. Same idea. If you're not sure what we're talking about, go watch some awesome Kurosawa movies.
Exactly. Akira Kurosawa.
Yeah.
So go and check his films. So
you want to pronounce the name of our favorite actor who starred in his?
Toshiro Mifune. That is
how would we say that in English for those who are unlearned?
Toshiro Mifune.
Toshiro Mifune. Okay, so look up, and I would highly recommend Yojimbo. Yojin or M. It depends on who's spelling it. Bo.
Yeah. Yojimbo.
Yeah. Yojimbo. And that is basically they
remade that. The first spaghetti western, which was called Fistful of Dollars.
Yeah, and then they remade it again.
Yeah, they got the second movie, which I don't recall the second Akira movie that it was called. But they pretty much copied that, from what I can recall, for a few dollars more.
Yeah.
And then they did something different with The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which for me is one of the top 5 movies ever made, and probably top 3 Yeah, I would have to say The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Hard to
But the point
say
is,
anything else. Yeah.
yeah, but the point is, you never find out what the samurai's name is.
Mm,
At one point, they ask him what his name is, and he looks to a nearby tree, and it's like some type of blossom. It's like
probably a
some type
cherry
of flower
blossom.
up there.
It would probably
So
be
he tells
cherries.
him the name of the flower, and
Mhm.
then he says his age.
Yeah.
After I think he asks what year it is.
Mhm.
What's your name? Freaking
Yep.
chrysanthemum 39 or something like that. That's the name he
Yep.
gives. And in the spaghetti westerns with Eastwood, the only name we know him as is Blondie. The ugly guy calls him Blondie, but
Mhm.
it's not
Other
his
people
name.
call him Manco, which for them is his habit of only using his left hand for all of his regular actions, and his right hand is only for drawing and shooting his pistol.
Oh wow, I hadn't noticed that. That's a
Check
really
it.
interesting insight.
Check The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
I will. I'll watch it
He's
again.
lighting his cigars left hand, smoking
Yep.
left hand. Everything's done with his left hand.
Wow, I hadn't noticed.
Yeah.
Excellent.
His right hand is only for shooting.
And so this is what was cool about Mandalorian when it first came out. It was the same type of character, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't say much, silent, only says what's necessary, does what he's going to do. Good luck stopping him.
Yep. He's not there to be nasty, but he's not there to be good-natured either.
Yeah. And now they're trying to do a lone wolf and cub thing. Samurai assassin, basically Kaishakunin, who was, his daimyo was overthrown.
Mhm.
And then, he's wandering as a Ronin as well. And the thing is, he's got his kid with him in his little baby cart.
Exactly.
And so that's Lone Wolf and Cub, the samurai movies.
Which would be fine if you would follow the samurai movies and not stick in this intersectional politics bullcrap.
Yeah. Well,
right?
look, it's
you
Lucasfilm.
can make a show about that. Please go right ahead and make it, because I'm not interested in watching it. Make it for the people who like it. Mandalorian is not for you. Mandalorian is for people like us who like this kind of thing. How about that?
Okay, Bree, come on.
Yeah, let's throw that into the air and let's see which one makes more money and gets more views. Let's find out.
There is that. It's funny. We for years and years and years, we just sat back and said, "Okay, keep making this crap. You'll find out." Well, they're finding out now, aren't they?
Well, they're clearly, if they've gone and subverted season 1 and season 2 of Mando to make a season 3 that's pushing in the intersectional shit, they haven't learned yet.
Yeah,
they'll learn the hard way.
I don't know. People are pointing at Jon Favreau and saying it's his fault. Dave Filoni really plays the intersectional game, but I don't think Favreau does. I think he's very strategic. He never talked, even as an actor, never talked about his politics ever.
Yeah.
He never talked about what was right.
He probably doesn't have a choice. He's probably producing what has to be done, and maybe he's playing the long game. People are saying that he can't write series. He should stick to films. Well, did you ever stop and think that maybe he's having this forced upon him?
Yeah.
Or maybe he's producing a product and people are subverting him. It's hard to say. Anyway, all in all, it's acceptable enough. It's not that bad of a show yet that I'm going to turn it off and say this is crap. But you are testing my patience, Disney.
Yeah.
So
between the two shows we're currently reviewing, I'd say Star Trek Picard is head and shoulders above Mandalorian at this point.
Yeah, and it used to be the other way around by far.
Oh yes,
by far.
All right. So from here forward, spoilers. Go.
Right. So we had the child, Baby Yoda, as we call him, sitting in Mando's lap during a starfighter fight, and I looked at my wife and made a comment and laughed, and she laughed back. Yeah, maybe your training for the foundling is to include him in dangerous things. Presumably, you've got quite a bit of attrition rate of foundlings, if that's how you handle them. But there we go.
Child endangerment. There it is. Yeah. Okay. Well, he's 50. What do you mean? He's older than Din Djarin. What are you on about?
He's a child for his species, let's say.
Okay. Yeah. Now, if that were my kid, I'd have him doing child labor.
Presented as different levels of competence at different times in the series.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. sometimes as a toddler, and at other times as a 10-year-old kind of. So
Yeah.
yeah,
All knowing, all seeing.
Yeah.
What did you think of this Grief Karga sequence? So he's talking to this pirate. This pirate is calling him out. It doesn't seem to me like he's very intelligent. If you are going to have a civilian settlement, right? But you used to be trained in the ways of violence when necessary, as I don't know, a
The
bounty hunter,
Mandalorians are.
right? Well, as Mandalorians are, he's not a Mandalorian. He was the head of a bounty hunting guild.
Exactly.
And he knows that sometimes shit happens, stuff goes down, and you better watch your back, and you better have people watching your back. So he's here all alone, trying to build this forward-thinking settlement, trying to, with his construction boom. And of course the bad people are going to come around. How are you not prepared for this?
And it apparently doesn't even have a security force, which we didn't even see.
That's what I mean. Like, how are you not ready for this? You don't even have a militia. I mean, right? You should have your entire town should be armed. In which case, if you have to fend for yourself, you're not part of the New Republic. You're not privy to the Empire's protection. Apparently, you're no longer involved with the bounty hunting guild. What the hell is going on here?
Very sloppy writing. I mean, maybe some of your crowd don't notice, but a lot of your watchers notice shit like this. Don't pull stupidity like this, please.
Yeah.
Dizzy, whoever's writing for you.
Well, it's not clever.
I mean, you're basically insulting our intelligence when you do this.
Yeah.
People notice if you have a weak story, and that's what causes trouble. If you have a strong story, then people will crown it. Please make a strong story. I have no problem if you want to make strong female characters in another series. Go ahead. Please make the Bo-Katan show with very strong scripts. I'll probably be happy to watch it. Possibly. Depends on what you're pulling in that.
Depends on how strong the script is.
Exactly. I mean, and a strong script, by the way, is not Ray Palpatine.
That goes without saying.
Okay. In none of those 3 movies were they a strong script. And some people say the last film was the stinker. No, the second film was the real stinker. The one with retard Johnson.
That all stems from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first was just a remake, right? The first was just a remake of A New Hope. So
exactly. I came out of the theater saying, I saw this movie already when I was 7. What are they doing?
Yeah, they modernized it. They re-release these things every number of years, don't they?
Yeah, well, pretending it's something new. No, don't do that. You're pulling a fast one on people like me. So
well, they're trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we noticed.
It's not going to pass.
Yeah. What did you think of this sequence here with this guy?
I actually rather liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me what you liked about it.
I'm starting to like this character. He's he's honest, he's stand up, he's straightforward. And I like the scene with the ladies' man.
Yeah, it was funny. Tim Meadows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was probably one of 4 people in the theater when Ladies Man came out. I really enjoyed that character.
I was really expecting this guy at any moment to say, "Have you tried doing it up the butt?"
Butt stuff with Marc Courvoisier.
I'm very sorry, Tim, but you have been typecast by Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
Well, yeah. But very funny, and I liked his funny moment. And I thought as soon as he told the droid to put it down, and I got the little, just a silly old gag. It's been done 100 times before, and it'll be done 100 times again. But it gave me a chuckle, and I thought this is what Star Wars is missing. Some of these darker Star Wars shows, certainly. It's missing that element of humor. But what I'm not digging here is the incompetence or the governmental mire of the New Republic.
Mm-hmm.
That is not what the EU, because I was a big fan of the EU, and that's, thanks to somebody who introduced me to the Zahn books, the Timothy Zahn, Heir to the Empire books. I thought the New Republic, was a return to doing it properly.
Mm-hmm.
So
exactly.
I see the New Republic as it is now, and I think that it would benefit from that type of outlook. that the New Republic is a shining beacon of what real democracy should be like.
That's right.
It's not
That's
supposed to
what
be
it
this
should
red,
be.
this red tape rubbish where you have people who are stuck in a cubicle that will never realize their potential. It's kind of the opposite, the antithesis of what Star Trek is supposed to be.
Yep. I
Right?
don't know what they're trying to pull with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really appreciated. So
Yeah. Anyway,
we have an
this
interesting
chick shows up
discussion
again.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the other MMA fighter that they're trying to apologize to us with over Gina Carano. Sorry, that's not going to work.
Nope. Make it official.
Hire Gina Carano back.
Give her whatever she wants.
Yep.
Yep.
And how about you don't wait until you broom Kathleen Kennedy out the door? How about you hire Gina Carano back now in her face?
Yeah, I think if there's enough, look, we suspect, we have no idea if this is really going on, but if there's enough pressure on Jon Favreau to play a long game to preserve his ties to Lucasfilm, maybe he's going to be the next head of Lucasfilm. Wouldn't that be great?
Oh, please,
then
please.
There are definitely enough problems to prevent Gina Carano from coming back and have a pleasant experience.
That's true too.
We don't want her to come back and have to deal with politics every day.
There is hope because Disney is getting rid of several thousand employees. So if that includes Lucasfilm, put Jon Favreau in charge and let him clean house now.
Yeah,
don't wait for Indiana Jones #5 to fail, which it very likely will, giving them the excuse to get rid of Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Don't wait that long. The longer you wait, the more damage you cause. Of course, you've caused so much damage as it is.
Yeah. Well, the question is, how many of these DIE people are involved in Lucasfilm, and will getting rid of Kennedy make the difference? An organization's culture is always determined from the top down. So the CEO will set the culture for the organization, and there are going to be people, it's just like mat culture in martial arts, right? There are going to be people who try to upset that culture and insert their own idea of that culture in there. And it's the job of the CEO to say, it comes from the top down to say, no, that's not on, call it out. That's not how we think. And if you want to think that way, that's fine, but you're not welcome in this organization if that's the way you're going to think.
That's why they need Favreau in charge now, and he needs to get rid of the what do we call intersectional woke crowd, whatever.
Let's just call it the DIE
people who are running it into the ground.
Yeah, the diversity, inclusion, and equity people, not equality.
Well,
equity.
I wouldn't call them that because that would imply that it wasn't diverse before, and it was. That would imply that it wasn't equal before, and it was. What they're doing now is inequality in the opposite direction, which is why it's turning into the Bo-Katan show. So, it's not as bad as other stuff like, the Dizzy trilogy of films that came out, The Ruse of Soy Woker, The Last Jerk Off,
and The Rise of Palpatine.
Oh yeah, of course.
Let's not forget that one. So this chick here, I thought it was blatantly obvious what she was doing. Oh, I'm going down to the commissary. Can you get you anything? Just going to insert yourself in this conversation so you can steer the conversation the way you want it to go, where he doesn't get any help on Navarro. Right? So who does he go to? The Mandalorians. He goes to the Mandalorians and asks for help.
Good cop.
Good cop. Where's Dave Filoni, the bad cop? Goes to the Mandalorians, asks for help on Greef Karga's behalf. Because Greef is going to get.
He does get to speak to Din Djarin. Cool.
Yeah.
He does get a few scenes in his episode. Okay.
Yeah. Here comes the main character though. Yeah, main character's walking up behind him. Yeah. So up she comes, and then they have the Lord of the Flies moment. I'm holding the conch. Where you have to hold the hammer to talk. Exactly. If you don't know Lord of the Flies, go read it. It's a classic. It's a classic about the degeneration of society. Hey, poor
And
old
then we
piggy.
had the large Mandalorian pick it up,
Mandalorian. Yeah,
and
Jon Favreau.
he leads us in one direction and then the other to subvert our expectations.
This guy,
Yeah, that's
Mandalorian
also
Jon Favreau, Paz
yeah,
Vizsla.
that's
There he is.
also that's a
Oh,
cheap stunt. I
well, I'm
wouldn't do
glad they're
that
in a
either.
cave. Otherwise, I'd complain about the lighting. But I
Yeah,
suppose it's okay.
yeah, it's a cheap stunt to drive the speech in one direction and then just flip it over on its head.
Yeah.
No, speakers don't do that. They make their case. They don't go in one direction. Oh, now I'm going to go in entirely the opposite direction. Oh, no,
Yeah.
it's not clever. It's stupid.
Yeah. Bo talks about or makes a plan to assault Navarro. Everybody's listening to Bo. You already said your piece here, so I guess that's all I have to say about that. Pirates are drinking in the school. Finally, they get to drink in the school. Hey, we've achieved our goal of drinking in the school. What are we going to do now? Keep drinking in the school. I do love Katie Sackhoff. I wish she would have
I
taken
do
her helmet off.
too. I do too. I mean, she's great as Bo-Katan. That's fine. But as I said, give her own show, please.
This is the Mandalorians. It's not the Mandalorian.
It's not the Bo-Katan show.
What's going on here? Oh, fighting. Oh, how about this?
I wouldn't want the Mandalorian to take over the Bo-Katan show. And I don't want her to take over the Mandalorian show.
But watch out, because here comes... oh, no, there's one girl boss moment. Where's the other girl boss moment? I got to find it. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, there it is.
Oh, they're in there. Yeah, there we go.
There it is. How about this? Oh, here she comes.
She beats
Ready?
up everybody, and apparently, yeah, Lizard Boy doesn't hear her beating up everybody else.
That's right. I'm going to hit you with a hammer silently.
He only looks at the last moment.
Oh, it's laughable.
What was that noise behind me?
So I imagine if this is a loud or laser rifle, and the guy has close to human hearing, maybe that would make sense that they couldn't hear her. But I think I'm reaching. What do you think?
Well, for this universe, laser guns make noise for some reason.
Oh, that's true. Maybe they're sizzling the
Who knows?
Maybe they're vaporizing the moisture in the air.
But the projectiles move a lot slower than light anyway, so maybe they're particles. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they're a lot more cool when they make noise. I had always said, gave an in-universe explanation that whenever you're in Star Trek or Star Wars, the computers on board your ship create sound for you in a space battle so that you can react more instinctively to the noises around you.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, that would be a good way to do it. Now, despite it splitting my ears in the original trilogy, by the time the final space battle came on, my ears hurt. The theaters used to turn the volume up so damn loud. Presumably, the computer sounds wouldn't be enough to destroy your hearing.
Yeah. Anyway, the Mandalorians coming through this, I thought this was pretty cool. Very tactical type of, well, not very tactical, because tactical is a little bit different to what they're doing. And they're doing a little bit of Book of Boba Fett, where they're standing out of the open at this point, and they're not, seeking cover. You see these, it's just guns pointing at each other. You know what I mean? A bit silly. But there were moments where they were taking cover, and they were fighting in a tactical style. I guess when you've got Beskar, you can stand to
pull this, maybe.
Yeah, you can pull this move.
Yeah.
So
you've also got jetpacks, so you could easily have one guy buzzing them from higher up, shooting downward.
Yeah,
and that
I thought it was cool. I enjoyed it.
A lot of distress. So
yeah. I enjoyed it. Better than some of the stuff we've seen in Book of Boba Fett, that's for sure. Yeah.
All in all.
And then they beat the pirates.
Yep, easily. All in all, an okay episode.
Yep. They beat the pirates, and then they all moved to Navarro, because now Navarro, they said, "Oh, you can have your land. There you go. I'll give you some land." Now all the Mandalorians are welcome on Navarro. Make it New Mandalore.
On lava flats. How nice would that be?
Yeah, great. Yeah, awesome.
Because those lava flats
near the springs
they certainly aren't in any way dangerous having lava flats.
No,
they couldn't have another volcanic eruption at all.
Nope. And then Katie Sackhoff, because she goes to see the girl boss, and because Katie Sackhoff is also a girl boss, she gets to take her helmet off.
Mm.
And yep, you can do both. You can walk around, keep your helmet off, or you can put it on. You can stay part of our club and go join the other club and get the other club to come join us, because that's what we want. All the Mandalorians.
Certainly,
together.
and quite honestly, at this scene here, I thought everybody was going to take off their helmets, and they
So
didn't
did
do
I.
it.
So
You
did
subverted my expectations again.
No, but it's only Katie Sackhoff who gets to take her helmet. Well, all the rest of the people are extras anyway, so we wouldn't recognize them.
Hmm.
They're all extras with voice actors. There's not very many actors in here. I reckon all these guys in the back. What do we got here? We got this guy. He's an extra. Yeah. This guy's an extra. You know, read all about it.
Yeah. So there we are.
So look, yeah, entertaining episode. I'm not going to watch it again.
Yeah, I don't mind Katie Sackhoff being a guest in these episodes, but she shouldn't be leading the episodes.
It's the Bo-Katan show, or it's the Mandalorians, plural. It's not about Mandalorian anymore.
Yeah,
Din
there's
Djarin.
no reason they shouldn't make a Bo-Katan show. There's no reason she shouldn't be leading the Mandalorians.
I'd watch it.
Mando, when he said, "I yield," no, you have to get it from fighting. Fine, fight me. Oh, you got me. I give up. Oh, here's the sword. Boom. It's that simple.
I think they tried. They explained that away in one of the cartoons, though. That's how she got the Darksaber the first time. It was yielded to her because she's had it before, and that's why she's proficient in it. I think it was Clone Wars. And because she didn't win it in a honest combat, like actual, real, genuine combat, her leadership faltered and failed. And they're saying it's because she didn't actually fight for it. So she's trying not to repeat the same mistake. And again, if you didn't know that, if you didn't have a friend who was, all into the Clone Wars, you would jump to exactly the same conclusion you did.
I see. Well, there's nothing wrong with Mando fighting her and, and pushing her and pushing her and pushing her and then letting her win. We do that in a dojo all the time.
It wouldn't be a genuine victory, though. It's got to be a genuine victory. She has to actually beat him.
Magic?
Well, this is science fantasy. So those are the rules that they have talked about for the Darksaber. You have to genuinely win. Is there magic? Well, there's the Force.
Clearly, she has to fight him for it. And what's going to happen? Obviously, she would have to win, wouldn't she? What happens if he dies with no one having taken it from him? Is it like the Elder Wand? So, does the Darksaber change its allegiance? Really? You're getting a little bit too murky here.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, what would you rate this out of 10, this episode?
Well, for the action sequences, I would have to say 9 out of 10. But for the rest of the show, just because, there are good things in here, but because they're becoming annoying to me, that brings it down to a 5 out of 10. So the whole show, maybe 7 when it could have been higher.
Yeah, I'm with you.
This scene here, all of this stuff, this belongs in the Bo-Katan show. Give her a show. That's her own show. That's it. That's all I have to say about it. And
I'd give it the same 7 out of 10.
We didn't get much of Baby Yoda in this at all, who's a lot more entertaining. And, probably more marketable than Katie.
Yeah. Yep, 7 out of 10 for me as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. Like, share, subscribe if you liked it. If you didn't like it, thanks for watching this far. Leave a comment. We'd love to hear what you think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So, thanks again, Necro, for letting me into your crypt. And we'll catch you next time.
All right. Live long and prosper.
And you.